I'm a child that was born in Kenya, right? I live right now in the United States of America. I've lived here for 9 years. I moved to the US when I was 30 years old. So I'm 39 at the recording of this podcast. And as somebody who was born in an African country, Kenya, which I love, by the way, I think it's the love of my life. It's my motherland. So I have very strong feelings for it. I think just the fact that when things shifted for me was when God finally answered my prayer of saying, God, I want to move to the US. That was 9 years ago. Now, the dream, I moved to the US 9 years ago, but I had been praying this dream for 10 years before that. So it's not something that was answered immediately. I remember when my mom, God rest her soul, when she passed, she really wanted her children to have a better future. And I remember her even applying for the green card once or twice, and unfortunately did not come to pass for her in her lifetime. However, those dreams, I believe, is what we are living now, right? The fact that we are here is because of our mother's prayers, our father's prayers, and the dreams of the people that came before us. And so when my dream came, when I realized that, man, like I had graduated undergrad and nothing was working out for me in Kenya, there was this strong sense in my heart that I needed to go somewhere else. I cannot explain it. I just knew it, and despite the many rejections that I faced, and that's a testimony for another time. So today we won't dig deeper into that. I think we'll have so many other testimonies to talk about, but for today's purposes, just know I had what I call my Joseph moments. There was a period between when Joseph dreamt, and then there was a period between when he actually now ascended to where God wanted him to be. And
Yeah.
during that period, he went through tribulation. He was thrown in jail. There was all these things that happened to him. And so in my 20s, all of it was literally me going through that season. That season of I felt like I was in jail. Like I didn't know what was happening. I worked in Dandara. For the life of me, no job was ever going to last maybe more than a year or two at the most. I was always let go at that particular mark, the first or the second year. And those jobs were, man, I've done it all, think about working, from working in the most dangerous slums in the world, being homeless multiple times. I slept on your couch multiple times. You've seen me at my worst, right? And I was depressed, oppressed, and suppressed. And I felt like God had forsaken me. He had forgotten me. But truly that wasn't it. Now I look back and I recognize I needed every single moment of that time because I needed to mature and I needed to get to a point where I was desperate to do whatever God wanted me to do. So when he answered my prayer in 2017 and made it possible for me to move to the United States, that was when everything shifted for me. Really. Now, in the physical realm, because when I came to the US, I came with less than $20. I remember you guys had contributed money. And you guys had, my brothers had put in their money. I had sold the little things that I had. Mind you, I didn't have a lot. And we bought a ticket together. My sister had contributed to all the other applications. I mean, it was a family like thing. So that is why my family is my day one, for sure, for sure. And so my dad, puts together his little money. My dad is a teacher. I love him. He's the love of my life. Outside of God, it's God and then my dad. My dad, I love him. And he put his little money and it ended up being like $20. So he gave it to me. He said, at least when you get on the plane,
Be able
don't
to buy
forget,
even a soda.
in case you step on somebody's banana, you can pay for it. Don't go to jail. It's funny to talk about that now, right? And so by the time I got to the US, I had eaten something along the way. So of course I had less than $20. I think I had less than $5. But
Yeah.
I remember touching down in Washington Dallas airport and I kissed the ground. And at that moment I said, God, if you help me, I will go back and help your people. And I was so excited that finally, for me, honestly, all I wanted to do was to get to America. After that, I didn't know what else I was going to
Everything will
do.
sort itself out.
Everything will sort itself out. And so, it's having childlike faith that everything will work out. And that's basically, that's when, because I had childlike faith and I also didn't have any other thing. There was nobody else to look at. I had nothing. It was just me and God. So that's when it shifted for me. And when I made that promise, what I did not know at the time was that God remembers promises.
Yeah.